All right, how many of you work at companies that develop or maintain software? Anyone? All right, or contract out for the development of software. Okay, so we're Silverthread, and we've been around for a while helping a lot of companies and organizations analyze the health of their software code bases and then improve the health of those code bases. Specifically, we've been applying MIT and Harvard research to look at the architectural health of those systems, make economic cases for change, and then drive results. So if you look at this graph over here, most software development projects, I don't know if any of you have experience with this, but they might be a little late, right? They might be delayed. They might have some challenges, and some of them might fail. I don't know if any of you have any of those experiences at all. But most people tell me that you have a finite amount of attention, resources, money to apply to your projects, and if they are late or fail, then you are wasting a lot of your money. We have worked with companies that have good, healthy systems, and we have worked with companies that have architecturally extraordinarily challenged systems. And if we could optimize by helping people make better decisions around what to keep, what to improve because it's financially rational, or it's financially rational to do so, and it's technically feasible to do so. And if you could, for the small number that you want to kill those programs or rebuild them. If you could just make that choice in an economically rational way, you could probably double the rate of innovation within your organizations. And that's what we've seen over a decade within the United States Air Force and Space Force, doing an analysis of the systems that they've got. So we've got a product called CodeMRI. It's based on the research and development that we did out of MIT and are now commercializing. The first aspect of it we call Discovery. This is a tool that can help you analyze the portfolio of applications that you have within your organization, or if you have access to code of systems developed by others for you or on your behalf, you have to do some auditing. Maybe you're doing mergers and acquisitions. You can analyze the health, benchmark it, look at trending over time, and understand it multidimensionally, both technically as well as the business implications. So we can help you use machine learning and AI to look at risk, maintainability, agility, productivity of your development organization as a function of the technical health of the code that they have to understand and work in and modify without creating bugs. On the other hand, we also have, I guess, the history of Silverthread is we started by criticizing people's code. People get defensive. Let's face it. If you go in and you criticize people's code, they think you're calling their baby ugly. And so as Silverthread evolved, we developed this tool called CodeMRI Modernize, which isn't just about calling your baby ugly. It's about helping you give your baby a nose job, right? So how do we help you systematically with a roadmap transform your code bases from something that's monolithic, hairball, furball, spaghetti, whatever you want to call it, into something that is a modular system with controlled dependencies, good hierarchies, good APIs, and a structured way of doing that in a quantitative fashion where everyone can audit it and the engineers have the information they need. Here's an example. This is a portfolio from the United States Air Force and Space Force of hundreds of systems that we've looked at. So you can see some are in the green, some are in the red, some are in the middle in the yellow. And we're doing predictions. We're doing benchmarks both around the technical health of the system. We can track it over time. And we're also looking at metrics around the productivity of developers, the defect density, things like that, things of economic value that the business people are going to care about. CodeMRI Modernize is more about how do you take your system and structure it well? How do you define the architecture as your experts would want it to be? And then look for deviations. Like, let's say you've got someone with 20 years of experience leading a project, but you hired a summer intern and they start adding things in bad places. You want the person with 20 years of experience to know that that's going on that day instead of 5 years from now, so that you can prevent it and so you can remediate. So partnering with us, the first thing that I would propose is we're looking for people who would be interested in running CodeMRI Discovery. It is a package that can be installed on Windows or Linux inside your organization, and without any hand-holding, analyze as many code bases as you throw at it. Do some benchmarking, just see the results, get a pilot. We'd be very interested in working with people who have one code base that's really important, or lots of systems, so that you can see the difference on different dimensions within them, and then see how that relates to how well those projects are going. And on the other hand, we've developed a lot of AI-based technology over the years, whether it's graph theoretic, machine learning, statistical, other types of things that we've been employing. But a lot of the new AI stuff that's coming out can be applied, and we'd be interested in working with people who are interested in that kind of research. How do you take a large scale system, 20 million lines of code, tear it down and rebuild it in a more automated fashion. That's beyond the current state of the art, but it's something that we're interested in pursuing. So with that, I'll take any questions that you might have, but we're going to have a table outside, so I'd appreciate it if you would stop by.
You mentioned that it installs on a Windows machine, but I'm just curious on the logistics. So you put it on a machine here, and then you've got code bases that may be running on maybe a mid-range or a mainframe someplace else. How does it get access to look at that code?
Our software application can be installed on any computer inside your organization. So if you've got, it just needs access to the code to scan it. So as long as it can point at code.
So you'd have to bring down the code from whatever platform it is onto that Windows machine.
So some of our customers ship us code. Others of our customers are in secure environments where for national security reasons, that code's not ever going to, we're never even going to see it. So they'll install it in an air-gapped environment. So we can do everything in between.
Okay, thanks.
No. Most people are squirrely about their source code getting out. So they get really upset about that kind of thing.
Yeah, so can you talk a little more about how you keep that integrity, software integrity for organizations while using the AI-generated code?
Oh, so our tooling can run completely self-contained for people in secure environments like banks or Department of Defense. It doesn't need to, our typical installation will make a connection for a licensed server, but that's not even required if you're in a highly secure environment.
Okay, thank you, Dan.